So today, guys, we have a build that you guys are going to 100% love because this build puts out so much damage that you'll be one-shotting enemies once you get all the procs going. Now, the weapon we are using is called the 1886, and you might notice this weapon from some of the old westerns you might have watched in the past, but this thing has enough damage that it packs a punch when it hits enemies, and you start to see some of those high numbers. What was that? 20 million, we critted for 21 million, and it's literally just one-shotting. Now, I will tell you, some of the tankier bosses, you're unable to one-shot, but everybody else, you should be doing just fine, especially if you're thinking about running this build solo. Now, we do have this on Heroic, and we do have 3 directives on for any of you guys wondering if you guys can add directives to this. And yeah, it does work really well. And what I love about it is you're seeing a lot of these are all body shots, right? Body shots, and we're still one-shotting, and that's what makes it so cool and so fun to use. Now, you're gonna see a second where we do get the boss and we're unable to one-shot him, and we leave him with just a little bit of health. And you're gonna see this right here, right? You see the boss pop up. Now, I'm wondering if I get this another 13 expertise levels, pushing me to 25 expertise on this one, we'll be able to do it, because that will make a big difference, especially if we're able to one-shot tankier enemies, kind of something like you can do with the hotshot build. Now, the first gameplay, we actually had almost a full stack of memento, so we were getting more damage. And on this one, we're starting with a little bit less, about a little bit more than half stack, right? Well, about 50% stack, right? So ideally, you know, you got to see what max damage looks like, and we're still hitting about, what, 19.6. So still a lot of damage going on here. Listen, and just watch this boss disappear. Instantly disappeared. So some of the bosses who don't have a ton of armor, yeah, we're able to one-shot them, and that's what's kind of cool. But that's where I was saying, I think if we get this expertise up, even the tankier bosses will be able to pull it off. So we're gonna be finishing up this control point real quick, and then what we're gonna do is we are going to head over to, oh, look at these guys here. I just love this. Oh, so, 21.1. But yeah, I just love chaining these kills together. But yeah, what we're gonna do here is we are going to finish up this, and then we'll get into the build, because I know a lot of you guys are like, yo, Skills, can you show us the build already? Because this thing is doing exactly, oh, there goes the boss. You see that? So some of these bosses are literally just dropping left and right. Boom. So it's doing what I told you it would do, right? So again, this we can still improve it a little bit. We just need a little bit more expertise, and I think maybe then we could be one-shotting all those. And that's it right there. So let's get into the build, guys, because I know you guys have been waiting for it. So the weapon we are using with this build is the 1886. Now, this only has 5 in the magazine, but you can see we're sitting at about almost 948,000 damage. We have 12% weapon damage expertise on here. We have 15% rifle damage, 17% critical damage, and 10% damage strikes out of cover. Then we have a talent called Determine. After killing an enemy with the headshot, the next landed on any enemy will be a guaranteed headshot. So all we have to do is get that one headshot, and then we can chain headshots together with body shots. So we have a 20% reload speed on this, and this thing right here is going to be an absolute beast. Now, we do have the Scorpio. One thing you guys should remember, these stats that you're seeing, we currently do have a full 30 stack, so this will drop down a little bit, but at full 30 stacks, that's where you see the damage. The Scorpio really is just there as your backup. If for some reason you get rogue agents or something like that, you can just swap to this. You can have the extra shotgun damage to target, damage to armor, put damage targets out of cover on there for that critical hit damage, and then Septic Shock does everything for you. So that's ideally what you'd want, but we'll be using the 1886, and that's what you guys saw in the gameplay. For the build, we are running a Hunter's Fury, and even though we only get shotgun damage and SMG damage for the 2-piece, that's gonna help out with the Scorpio, but the 3-piece, getting the extra armor on kill, the 50% health on kill helps out because we're gonna chain kills together pretty quick, but the 4-piece is what's going to allow us to one-shot those enemies. Enemies within 15 meters receive a debuff, amplifying your weapon damage against them by 20%. Now, killing a debuff enemy with your weapon disorients other enemies within 5 meters and amplifies weapon damage by 5% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. So we have weapon damage on here, we have headshot damage, and we have a headshot damage mod. For the chest piece, we're running with the Chain Killer chest piece. This is going to give us 5% weapon damage. We have weapon damage on your headshot damage, critical chance you could put weapon handling if you would like, and we have 10% headshot mod. Perfect Headhunter. After killing an enemy with the headshot, your next weapon hit within 30 seconds deals an additional 150% of that killing blow's damage. That's why it hits so hard. But remember, this is only capped at 800%, but it goes up to 1,250% if your headshot damage is greater than 150%, which we do have on this build. We have for the holster, which is going to be our second piece of Hunter's Fury, we have weapon damage and headshot damage. For the knee pads, we have our third piece of Hunter's Fury, we have weapon damage, headshot damage. For our fourth and final piece of Hunter's Fury, we have the gloves, weapon damage, headshot damage. And the backpack, we're running the Memento backpack. We're getting weapon damage, armor, skill tier, armor, plus a 10% headshot damage mod. And obviously, this is where this build gets strong, right? If we pick up a trophy, we're gonna get 30% weapon damage because we get 5% weapon damage for every red core. We have 6, 30% right there. We're getting 10% bonus armor and 5% skill efficiency. Now, once we're at 30 stack, that's where you're seeing the extra damage on this 1886. So we're getting 30% weapon damage, 30% skill efficiency, and 3% armor regen. So having the Memento backpack is what's really gonna push this build to the top. We check out the stats real quick, see if we still have it. You see the damage already went down a little bit, so we did lose the stack. So you're not going to see the armor regen. Armor regen is, so you're not gonna see the 3% armor regen that we should have on here. We have almost 1 million armor, 185,000 armor on kill. We have 16% crit chance, 62% crit damage. I told you we were gonna be above 150% headshot damage. We're sitting at 175, so that way we can push the cap up a little bit more with the Headhunter. And then the base damage is, we're sitting at 845,000. Now you saw the higher number earlier because that is going to be the number that you see when we do have a 30 stack, which we currently don't have one. Now for the skills, you can run whatever you want. Crusader Shield can kind of protect you a little bit. I do recommend running the Tactician Drone, and what this is gonna do is just gonna scan the area and be able to post those enemies. And I am running the Sharpshooter specialization. Really up to you how you guys want to run it, but overall this is the build right here, and it's an absolute monster with the 1886. And if you guys want to try this build out, try it out. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys want to play something different than running something like the Hotshot build, this one will be a great one for you. You guys saw I was running 3 directives on heroic, and it was pretty easy. You can run this on missions, or you guys can run this at control point. So have fun with this. Let me know what you guys think. It's a fun one, and I think you guys will enjoy it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Nothing but skills out. Take it easy, everybody.